Mom showed up with a tape measure to move me out of my own room for my brother's future nursery. What my stepdad did next split the whole family. I, a 31-year-old male, purchased my home 3 years ago after pushing myself into the ground to save every penny. It's a simple 3-bedroom colonial in a peaceful neighborhood, but it's mine. My retreat is the master bedroom. I've set up half of it as my home office because I work remotely as a software engineer, and the NSU bathroom was a significant selling point when I was looking for a house. Logan, my younger brother, is 26 years old and married Chloe, 25, last month. They're lovely kids who have been together since college, and I was truly delighted to be his best man. They've been living in a tight studio apartment downtown while Chloe completes her nursing degree, and their lease expires this month. My mother, Linda, 56, called me 2 weeks ago with what she termed as excellent news. She informed me, without asking, that Logan and Chloe would be temporarily living with me while they saved for their own place. When I expressed amazement, she quickly dismissed my concerns. "I've already thought everything through," she told me. "They'll take the master bedroom since married couples need their privacy and proper space. You'll move into the guest room. It's perfectly adequate for a single man. The 3rd bedroom will be their storage and future nursery when the time comes." I literally laughed, believing she was joking. She was not. "Adam, this is what families do. Your brother needs help, and you have the space. Don't be selfish." I tried to emphasize that the master bedroom was not just where I slept. It was also my office, where I spent 9 to 11 hours each day. My system, which includes multiple monitors, a standing desk, and equipment, cannot fit in the guest room with a bed. "You can work from the kitchen table like everyone else who works from home," she told me. "Logan and Chloe need that space more than you need a fancy office setup." The conversation degenerated from there. I said that I pay the mortgage, insurance, and property taxes, everything. This was not about selfishness. It was about showing fundamental respect for my space and life. Her response was to mention my deceased father. "Your father would be ashamed of how you're acting. He always put family first. When he was alive, he would never have let your brother struggle while you lived in luxury." That smacked like a blow in the gut. Logan was only 11 years old when my father died, and I was 17. Mom had sometimes weaponized his memories throughout the years, but this one felt especially nasty. Dad encouraged me to work hard, save money, and take pride in ownership. He would have understood why this scenario was bothering me. Logan contacted me that evening, and I heard Chloe in the background. "Look, Adam," he continued, sounding uneasy. "I told Mom we'd be fine in the guest room. Hell, we'd be grateful for the guest room, but she's insisting it wouldn't be appropriate for a married couple. What do you think?" I asked simply. There was a pause. "Honestly, I think this is weird as hell." Chloe's mortified. "We were actually looking at another apartment, but Mom said we'd be stupid to pay rent when you have space. She made it sound like you'd already agreed to everything." This is when things get more tricky. My mother married Michael, a 58-year-old man, 3 years ago. He's a great guy who owns a construction firm and is quiet and considerate. He has never sought to be a father figure or interfere with family dynamics. He was in Seattle on business at the time Mom was presenting this entire plan. Mom called yesterday to tell me that she, Michael, Logan, and Chloe would be coming over this weekend to assist me move into the guest room. Exactly what she said. Michael agrees this is the best solution for everyone. We'll make it as painless as possible. But here's what's fascinating. About an hour after that call, I received a text from Michael. "Adam, we need to talk. Man to man, something's not right here, and I'd like to understand the full situation before this weekend. Can you meet me for coffee tomorrow morning?" I agreed to meet him, but I am unsure what to anticipate. Michael has always been polite yet distant, which I appreciate. I didn't need or desire a replacement father, but this text shows he may see things differently than my mother did. The frustration goes beyond the bedroom issue. It's about a pattern that I'm only now fully understanding. Logan graduated from high school, and Mom gave him a great party. Logan had a baseball game, so she missed to come to my college graduation, which was the first in our family. When I was promoted to senior developer, she inquired whether my company was hiring because Logan wanted a better job. When I bought this house, her first reaction was that Logan would love to live somewhere like this one day. I don't resent my brother. None of it is his fault. If anything, I believe Mom's relentless protection has held him back. He's capable and intelligent, but she's constantly stepping in to solve his problems before he can sort things out for himself. The bedroom stuff feels like the pinnacle of this dynamic. Even in my own home, my accomplishment, my space, Logan's wants take precedence over mine. Being married appears to make him more deserving of comfort than me. The actual homeowner, my pals think I'm being a doormat by even considering letting them move in. My cousin, Mom's niece, says I'm overly dramatic. It's just a room, and I should stop being so materialistic. My grandmother, Dad's mother, called me yesterday after Mom informed her of the issue, and her response was different. Your mother's heart is in the right place, but she's wrong. Stand your ground, Adam. Your dad would be proud. Part of me wonders whether I should just give in and keep the peace. It would probably only last a few months. And is my pride truly worth causing a schism in my family? But another part of me, the one that sounds like my father's voice, suggests that this is about more than a bedroom. It's about determining whether I'm an equal adult in this family, or if I'll always be the older brother who must make sacrifices for the golden child. Michael and I are meeting tomorrow morning. I'm not sure what he wants to talk about, but I'm hopeful he can assist me resolve this dilemma. Perhaps he'll try to force me to comply. I honestly don't know him well enough to foresee what will happen. Is it terrible that I do not want to give up my master bedroom in my own house? Should family obligations supersede personal boundaries? What will I do if Michael sides with my mother? Update 1. We'll meet with Michael the next day. Michael and I met at 8 o'clock a.m. in a tiny cafe downtown. He was already there when I arrived, seated in a corner booth with 2 coffees ordered. He stood when he saw me, as my father used to do as a sign of respect, and shook my hand firmly. Adam, thanks for meeting me, he said. Before we discuss anything else, I need you to know that I had no idea about any of this until yesterday afternoon when I got back from Seattle. Your mother told me we were helping you move some furniture this weekend, but when I asked for details, the story didn't add up. He took out his phone and showed me texts from my mother. They portrayed an entirely different picture, that I had offered to assist Logan and Chloe, that I felt bad about having a large house while they struggled, and that I had offered the master bedroom because I wanted to do right by family. Now, Michael said, leaning back, I've only known you for 3 years, but you've never struck me as the martyring type. You're generous, yes, but not foolish, so I'm asking you directly, what actually happened? I told him everything. The unexpected phone call, the demands, and the guilt trip about my father. Michael listened attentively, occasionally nodding or frowning. When I finished, he was silent for a long time. Your mother means well, he replied, but she has a blind spot when it comes to Logan. I noticed it during our first year of marriage, but didn't feel it was my place to intervene. Now I realize staying silent was a mistake. He told me about observations he'd made, such as how Mom would interrupt my accomplishments to discuss Logan's potential, how she'd make excuses for Logan's mistakes while holding me to impossible standards, and how she'd always frame things as if I had advantages over Logan, despite the fact that I'm only 5 years older. When she told me about this bedroom situation, Michael went on, she made it sound like it was all arranged. Everyone was happy, but last night, I talked to Logan separately. Kid's embarrassed as hell. He never asked for the master bedroom, doesn't want it, and feels like your mother is treating him like a child. This surprised me. Logan told you that. More or less, said the man. And I quote, Michael, I'm 26 years old, married, and have a job. I don't need my mom fighting battles. I didn't ask her to fight. Chloe apparently wanted to get a different apartment specifically to avoid the situation, but your mother guilt-tripped them about wasting money. Michael ordered us breakfast and then went on. Adam, I'm going to tell you something. I grew up with 3 brothers. My stepfather treated his biological sons like princes while I was lucky to get hand-me-downs. I swore if I ever became a step-parent, I'd never let that dynamic happen. Equal treatment, equal respect. I appreciate that. But let me finish, he responded forcefully yet politely. I've failed in that promise. By staying silent while your mother favors Logan, I've been complicit. That stops now. Your father isn't here to stand up for you. And while I'd never try to replace him, someone needs to have your back. Consider me that someone. He devised a scheme. We'd go to my place together. He'd already invited Mom, Logan, and Chloe to join us there. He would back me in setting any boundaries I chose, but he advised me to be firm and also generous. They could stay, but only in the guest room, paying a fair amount of the utilities on a certain time frame. Your mother will push back, he warned. She'll cry, she'll guilt trip, she'll invoke your father again. Don't engage with the emotional manipulation. State your boundaries and hold them. I'll handle Linda if needed. We drove to my house individually. When we arrived, Mom was already there with Logan and Chloe. She had let herself in with her key and was measuring the guest room with a tape measure. "Oh, good, you're here," she remarked joyfully. "Adam, I think your desk can fit in here if we angle it." "Linda," Michael interrupted, "we need to have a family discussion. In the living room. Everyone." When we were all seated, Michael took over. "There's been a misunderstanding about the living arrangements. Adam, would you please clarify what you're willing to offer?" I took a deep breath. "Logan and Chloe, you're welcome to stay here for up to 4 months while you save for a house. You can have the guest room, share the main bathroom, and use the kitchen and common areas. I'll need $450 a month to cover the increase in utilities and incidentals. The master bedroom and my office setup stay as they are." Mom instantly began to complain. "That's ridiculous. You're going to charge your brother rent and stuff them in that tiny room?" "It's not rent, Mom. It's utilities. And the guest room is larger than their current apartment." "But married couples need—" "Linda," Michael said forcefully, "Adam owns this house. He pays the mortgage. He's offering to help, and his terms are more than fair. This discussion is over." Mom looked at him in disbelief. "You're taking his side?" "I'm taking the side of what's right," Michael said calmly. "Adam isn't obligated to house anyone. The fact that he's willing to help at all should be appreciated, not criticized." Logan eventually spoke up. "Mom, stop, please. Adam's offer is generous, and we're grateful." "The guest room is fine. More than fine," Chloe explained. "Mrs. Linda, we appreciate you looking out for us, but this is between Adam and us. We're adults, and we can handle our own arrangements." Mom's face showed a range of emotions, including amazement, hurt, rage, and shame. "I'm just trying to help," she replied gently. "Your help isn't helpful when it comes at Adam's expense," Michael replied kindly but firmly. "You've been doing this for years, Linda. It needs to stop." There was an awkward silence. Mom then grabbed her purse and departed without saying anything more. Logan and Chloe apologized sincerely, assured me that they were satisfied with the guest room, and pledged to be excellent house guests. They departed shortly afterward to begin packing. Michael remained behind. "You did good," he said. "That was harder than it needed to be because it should have been addressed years ago, but you handled it well." "Thanks for backing me up," I said. "I didn't expect that." "Adam, can I share something?" he asked as he sat down on my couch. "Your mother talks about your father a lot. From what I've gathered, he was a good man who worked hard and loved his family, but she's created this mythology around him that she uses to justify her behavior. The man she describes, who would want you to sacrifice everything for Logan, doesn't match the father who taught you to work hard and earn your own way." He was correct, and hearing someone else agree was reassuring. "I'm not trying to be your father," Michael added, "but I am your stepfather, and that means something to me. It means having your back when you need it. Your mother will come around, but it might take time. Don't cave in the meantime." Update 2. Logan and Chloe finally moved in last weekend after 2 weeks. They kept their word and were terrific house guests. They do grocery shopping, do their own dishes, and are quiet and considerate. Chloe even reorganized my disorganized pantry as a thank you gesture. The $450 for utilities was paid beforehand, without my asking. Mom refused to assist the move and has ignored me since the fight. She isn't actively antagonistic, just absent. She did not call for our regular Sunday check-in. She did not text me the recipe I requested for. It hurts, but I'm standing firm. Michael, on the other hand, has become increasingly present. He invited me for lunch twice this week, just the two of us. The first time we discussed work and sports, we were careful to ignore the elephant in the room. He brought it up again. "Your mother is struggling," he remarked simply. "She's realizing that her way of showing love to Logan has actually been harmful to both of you. To him because it stunted his independence, and to you because it made you feel less valued." Has she said that? Not in so many words, but she's been reading articles about favoritism in families. I saw her browser history. She's not subtle. She's also been looking at photo albums from when you boys were young. I think she's seeing patterns she didn't want to see before. He then told me something that clarified a lot. Did you know that after your father died, your mother went to therapy for about 6 months? The therapist told her that Logan might struggle more with the loss because he was so young and that she should pay special attention to his emotional needs. I think she took that advice and ran too far with it, turning pay attention into prioritize above everything else. This was new to me. Mom hadn't mentioned therapy. She also told me, Michael went on, that you stepped up so much after your father died, took on responsibilities, helped with Logan, never complained. She said she leaned on you heavily, maybe too heavily for a 17-year-old. I think part of her favoritism toward Logan stems from guilt about parentifying you. That was unexpectedly challenging. I remember cooking Logan's school lunches, assisting with schoolwork, and attending his Little League games when Mom had to work late. I believed I was being a decent brother. I had no idea Mom would have considered it a burden I shouldn't have carried. That doesn't excuse her behavior, Michael clarified swiftly, but it might help you understand it. Yesterday, something interesting occurred. Logan asked if we could speak quietly. We sat on my back porch with beers, and he seemed unusually serious. Adam, I owe you an apology, he said. Not just for this situation, but for everything. 4 years of everything. I attempted to dismiss it, but he persisted. No, listen, I've been thinking a lot since this whole bedroom thing happened. Mom's always fought my battles, made excuses for me, cleared the path ahead of me, and I let her because it was easy. But it wasn't fair to you. He told me about things I had forgotten or even blocked out. Mom would take money from my education fund to pay for his car repairs. There were times when his little victories eclipsed my family's appreciation of my achievements. He knew Mom was being unjust, but he didn't say anything because it benefited him. I'm not a kid anymore, he explained. I'm married. I have a job. I'm about to buy a house. It's time I stood on my own feet and stopped letting Mom treat me like a baby. And you like the help. You're not responsible for how Mom acts, I told him. No, but I'm responsible for how I respond to it. And I've responded by taking advantage. Even if I didn't mean to, that stops now. He next shared a surprise with me. Michael has been talking to me too, about being a man, about independence, about fair family dynamics. He said something that stuck. Your brother's success doesn't diminish yours, and your needs don't matter more than his. He's right. We're not in competition, and Mom needs to stop acting like we are. Update 3. 1 month later, the transformation has been amazing. Last week, Mom broke her silence by calling to ask if we could all eat supper together. Michael later informed me that she had resumed consulting with a therapist, this time focusing on her parenting practices and grief processing. The supper was held at my residence. Mom brought dessert, my favorite, not Logan's, which, while modest, felt substantial. After we had eaten, she asked if we could talk. I owe you both an apology, she said, glancing at Logan and me. But especially you, Adam. I've been unfair to you for years, and I disguised it as love for your brother. She discussed Dad's loss, her concerns that Logan would grow up damaged without a father, and how I appeared so strong and capable that she forgot I was also hurting. You became my partner in raising Logan, she told me with tears in her eyes. That wasn't fair. You were a child who lost his father, not a replacement parent. And then I spent years compensating Logan for a loss that you experienced too. As if your pain mattered less because you were older. Logan spoke up. Mom, you need to stop protecting me. It's actually made my life harder. I never learned to solve my own problems because you always jumped in. Adam had to figure everything out himself. And look where he is. Successful, independent, a homeowner. I'm just now learning skills he mastered years ago because he had to. Mom nodded and wiped her eyes. The bedroom thing. God, I'm mortified, demanding you give up your room in your own house. What was I thinking? You were thinking what you've always thought, I said gently, that Logan's needs come first. It's been the pattern so long you didn't even question it. Michael said, Linda, you're a good mother who loves her sons, but love isn't only about giving one everything and expecting the other to sacrifice. It's about respecting both sons as individuals with equal value. Mom turned to me and asked, Can you forgive me? Not just for the bedroom event, but for the entire situation. I'm working on it, I admitted honestly. It helps that you see it now, But Mom, this cannot be just words. Things need to change. Rather than utilizing her key, she appreciates my accomplishments without instantly shifting to Logan, and she no longer compares us or suggests I do more for him. She has kept her promise and now asks before visiting. Update 4. Logan and Chloe discovered their house 3 months later. They'll close in 4 weeks and move out by the end of the month. It's a cute starting home approximately 20 minutes away. Mom volunteered to help them decorate, but, and this is huge, she offered the same to me for my house, recognizing that I'd been living with bachelor decor for far too long. Over the last 3 months, Michael and I have built a genuine friendship. We go to baseball games together, he teaches me carpentry in his garage workshop, and we have open chats about life, work, and family. Last week, while working on a bookshelf project, he said something significant. "You know, Adam, I think I understand your father better now. Even though I've never met him, I see him in your work, methodical, cautious, and taking delight in doing things correctly. I see him in how you treat others with respect while expecting the same in return. Your mother kept him alive via stories, but you have kept him alive through your actions." "I miss him," I confessed, startling myself with vulnerability. "Of course you do. You always will. But Adam, I want you to know that I am not attempting to replace Dad. I'm simply trying to be another person in your corner. Everyone deserves to have someone in their corner." He then told his personal tale of losing his father at a young age and how his stepfather regarded him as inferior to his biological boys, saying, "I promised myself I'd never repeat that cycle. Biology does not determine worth. You and Logan are my stepsons, and I am proud of both of you." The big test came last weekend when my cousin got engaged and the family gathered to celebrate. Previously, Mom would dominate the conversation with Logan's successes while scarcely mentioning me, but this time was different. When my aunt asked what was new with the boys, Mom shared equally. Logan's upcoming house closing and my recent promotion to team lead. When my grandmother complimented my house, Mom didn't immediately mention how Logan's would be nicer. When my uncle made a joke about me being the responsible one, Mom didn't laugh along. She said both of her sons were responsible in different ways. Small, yet important adjustments. Final update. Logan and Chloe moved out 2 weeks ago after 4 months, and their housewarming party last night was lovely. Not because of the house, but because of what it symbolized. During the party, Logan grabbed me aside and said, "Adam, I need to thank you, not only for allowing us to stay with you, but for standing up to Mom. It caused all of us, including myself, to grow up. I'm 26, married, and about to buy a house, yet Mom was still treating me like I was a child in need of protection. Your boundaries have also set me free." Mom overheard and joined us. "He's correct. I was holding both of you back. Logan by overprotecting him, and you by undervaluing yourself. I'm glad you forced the talk, even if it was difficult." The party was the first time I felt like an equal member of the family, rather than the responsible older brother who was expected to sacrifice and stay quiet. Mom proudly introduced me to her friends, talking about my career and my house without immediately shifting to Logan, and even pulled out her phone to show pictures of the home office setup she had once deemed unnecessary. But the most memorable moment came from Michael, who pulled me aside near the end of the evening. "Adam, I've been thinking about something," he began. "Father's Day is approaching. I realize it's undoubtedly a difficult day for you. It has been since you were 17. I am not your father, and I would never pretend to be, but I was wondering what we could do together that day. Not as father and son, but as family. Men who respect and support one another." I agreed, and we made preparations to go fishing, as Dad used to do with me. "Your father raised a good man," Michael murmured, clasping my shoulder, "and I see it every day. The way you handled the entire matter with strength and grace was a reflection of both his and your character. You adopted his teachings and made them your own. I've reclaimed my position in the family, not as the perpetual giver or the responsible one who needs nothing, but as an equal deserving of respect and consideration. My house is peaceful again, my office is set up exactly as I need it, and the guest room is back to being a guest room. Mom still slips into old patterns, but she stops herself. Last week, she started to tell me I should help Logan with his mortgage papers, then stopped mid-sentence. "No, that's not my place. Logan can ask you for aid if he needs it, and you can decline if you're too busy." Logan did ask, and I helped, not because Mom told me to or because I felt obligated, but because he was my brother and asked respectfully. That's the difference. The help comes from choice, not expectation or guilt. Michael has become an unexpected blessing in my life, not a father, but something else valuable, a mentor, a friend, and an advocate. He's shown me that family can grow and evolve, and that step relationships don't have to be awkward or distant. He chose to stand up for me when he could have stayed neutral, and that decision made all the difference. Last night, after the party, I was cleaning up my kitchen when I discovered a note Michael had left on my counter. "Adam, your father would be pleased of the man you have become. I know I am. Mike." I saved the note, and it now rests in my office next to a photo of Dad and me from when I was 16, just a year before he died. 2 different men, 2 different relationships, but both are part of my life. The master bedroom crisis, as dramatic as it appeared at the time, was actually a gift. It forced our family to confront years of unhealthy dynamics, revealing that Mom's grief had morphed into favoritism. Logan was ready to be independent, but hadn't been allowed to be, and I deserved equal consideration in my own family. Most importantly, it taught me that standing up for yourself is not selfish, but rather necessary, that boundaries are guidelines for healthy relationships, and that sometimes the most loving thing you can do for your family is to refuse to allow dysfunctional patterns to continue. My home is mine, my space is respected, my accomplishments are honored, and my needs are important. These should not be revolutionary ideas, but they were for me. And it required a stepfather's courage to show me that I deserved nothing less. Mom was correct when she said that family helps family. However, true help does not imply that one person constantly makes sacrifices for another. Rather, it entails reciprocal respect, admiration, and support that flows in both directions. That is the family we are currently forming, and I am grateful for where we have arrived, despite the difficult journey we have taken. The master bedroom is still mine, but I've gained something far more valuable, a family that sees, respects, and values me as an equal, as well as a stepfather who stepped up and said, "This is wrong, and I won't let it continue." Sometimes the best families are the ones that grow through disagreement, learn from mistakes, and choose to do better. We're not perfect, but we're trying, and that's enough. "You're more of an ATM than a son," Dad said. After 16 months of $2,200 payments, I canceled the transfer. 28 days later, the bank called him first. I learned out I wasn't invited to my niece's 9th birthday celebration via Instagram. Amanda had shared a video of Lily blowing out candles while surrounded by cousins, aunts, uncles, and half the neighborhood. Balloons, a bounce house, and a table laden with presents. Everyone was present except for me. I checked my mails, nothing. No invitation, no, "Sorry, we forgot you." I called Amanda. "Ryan, hello, what's up? I just seen the party on Instagram. Looks like fun." Pause. "Oh yeah. I didn't get an invite. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Limited space and..." "Amanda, you've got a bounce house. There are 25 persons there. It just turned out this way. Do not make it a thing. Do not make it a thing. Put Dad on." "Ryan, he's..." "Put him on." Muffled voices. Then Dad slightly mumbled from his drinking. "Ryan, hello friend. Great party. You should see." "Why was I not invited?" "What?" "It's Lily's birthday. Why was I not invited?" "Oh well, you know, Amanda had to make tough choices." "I am her brother. Lily's uncle." "Yes, but let us be honest here. You aren't truly family in the sense that matters for these things." Something chilly settled into my chest. What does that mean? It indicates you are more of a resource, a wallet. You aid us when we need it, but you're not truly involved in day-to-day family life. The wallet. "Dad, I have been paying your mortgage for 16 months. And we appreciate that, but that doesn't mean you get a say in family events." I couldn't talk. "Look, don't take anything personally. If you help us financially, we can keep the family going. It works." He hung up. 16 months ago, Dad lost his job. The manufacturing plant is closed. At 56, he couldn't find anything comparable to what he was earning. He called me, his voice shaking. "Ryan, I'm not sure what to do. The mortgage costs $2,200 each month. I am going to lose my house, the home where Mom died 4 years ago." "I'll help," I said quickly. "I'll cover it until you get back on your feet." I was earning $68,000 as a software developer. I could make it if I cut back. So I did. Cheaper apartment. No dining out. I drove my 10-year-old Honda into the ground. Every month, $2,200. Direct deposit. Never late. Initially, he would text, "Thank you." Then the updates ceased. Texts become demands. "Could you send it earlier this month? Payment is late. I need it by the 3rd. I became an ATM, not a son. My phone vibrated. Aunt Karen sent a text. "I'm sorry Karen couldn't make it to the celebration. Lily inquired about you. Lily inquired about me. They did not invite me, but she noticed." I called Karen. "Hey, Ryan. How are you? Why was I not invited?" "Oh, well, Amanda had to keep the guest list manageable." Karen, "There were 25 people there." "Well, yes, but close family. And I'm her brother." Silence. "Ryan, we're okay without you around. These events are regarding the core family. You're preoccupied with your own life regardless. We are fine without you." "I pay Dad's mortgage," I explained quietly, "and we appreciate it, but that doesn't imply you have to attend every family function. When was the last time I got invited to something? Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Amanda's birthday." She didn't respond. "What if I stopped paying tomorrow? Will I be suddenly invited?" "That's not fair." "Answer the question. Ryan, your father needs the money. You cannot just—" "So that's a no." "If that's how you feel, maybe you shouldn't attend family occasions. We don't need the negative." She hung up. I sat there for a while. Then I opened my banking app and discovered the regular payment of $2,200, which is scheduled for the 1st of each month. I stared at my phone. Another Instagram story. Lily cut the cake. Dad laughs in the background. I'm having a fantastic time at a party I sponsored but wasn't invited to in a property I'd paid for. While they said I wasn't family, I canceled the recurring payment and texted Dad. Effective immediately, I'm discontinuing mortgage payments. You have 28 days to make alternate arrangements. I blocked his phone number. Amanda's been blocked. Karen's been blocked. I deleted Instagram. I wasn't family. I was only a wallet. And the wallet was closed. The first week seemed unusual. I felt relieved rather than sorry, as I had anticipated to. My bank account suddenly had an additional $20,200. I'd grown accustomed to being broke that having money seemed weird. Jake, a coworker, observed, "You seem lighter. Made some changes." "Good ones." "Time will tell." My phone remained quiet. They probably had not noticed yet. Payment was not due for 3 weeks. On day 8, an unknown number contacted, leaving a voicemail from Amanda on a friend's phone. "What the hell, Ryan? Dad says you canceled the payment." "You cannot do that. He's about to lose his house. This is insane." I removed it. Another call. Karen, this time with a different phone number. "Ryan, this is cruel. Your father is beside himself. Your mother would be ashamed. That is dumb." However, I still erased it. They tried everything. Work numbers, friends' phones, and blocked numbers. Every time it goes to voicemail. Every time delete. Being someone's wallet means you only matter when the money stops. On day 12, Dad sent an email that was long, rambling, and contained elements of guilt, anger, and desperate pleading. "I reared and nourished you, and now you're repaying me. Your mom would be heartbroken. This house is the final remnant of her. You are taking it away from Lily. How can you be so selfish?" I responded with one line. "You said I wasn't family. I am simply a wallet. The wallet is closed." His response came quickly. "I didn't mean it that way. I was drinking." "You're being sensitive." Sensitive. Mom used the same word when I pointed out how differently they treated me and Amanda. I did not respond. On day 13, they went nuclear, a Facebook post by Amanda public. "Some people put money before family. My brother Ryan has decided to cease assisting our father. Dad is ready to lose his house, the place our mother died in, because Ryan is upset about not being invited to one party. Here's what selfishness looks like." Comments came in. "How horrible. Your poor father." Aunt Karen shared it. "Heartbroken. Family should help family, not desert them due to hurt feelings." No mention of 16 months of payments, $35,000, or merely a wallet. Jake saw it. I called immediately. "Is this real, dude?" "Yeah. You've been paying his mortgage for 16 months and they didn't invite you to a birthday party, among other things." Would you like me to comment? Set the record straight? No, let them have their story. Everyone thinks you're the bad guy. Everyone who matters already knew I was invisible. On day 20, a registered letter arrived from a lawyer. Dad threatened to sue for breach of verbal contract. I called the number. Henderson and Cole Law Offices. I received a cease and desist regarding Ryan Bennett. Ah, yes. Your father claims that you made a binding pledge. Do you have anything written? No. Then there is no contract. You were assisting. You're going to stop. That is your right. Silence. I'll relay your response. The letter landed in the garbage. Day 26. Payment was due in 2 days. My phone rang non-stop. Unknown numerals. All hours. The voicemails became desperate. Amanda. Lily is crying. She does not want Grandpa to lose his home. Do you truly want to be the uncle who did this? Dad, I apologize. Okay, I apologize for what I said. Please. The bank is calling. Please, Ryan. Sorry about what I said. Not I was wrong. Just apologizing. He spoke the silent portion aloud. I removed it. Day 28. I awoke to 14 missed calls. I made coffee. Went to work. At 10:45 a.m., my inbox chimed with a snapshot of a message attached to Dad's door. Notice of default. Foreclosure procedures will begin in 28 days. A text message from an unknown number appeared below it. Are you happy now? I stared at the photo for a long time, thinking about 16 months of payments, being labeled a wallet, and being excluded while I kept their life going. I typed the word yes and blocked the number. I was done apologizing for setting boundaries. I'm done apologizing for refusing to be used. Their emergency was no longer my concern. I was finally free. The foreclosure notification granted them 28 days. I gave them silence. No responses, no bargaining, no second chances. For the first time in 16 months, I began living my own life. The extra $2,200 per month was like inhaling after being submerged. I moved into a better apartment with 1 bedroom, natural light, and a dishwasher. I bought new garments that did not come from the bargain rack. I went out to dinner without checking my financial account first. These were minor details, yet they had a significant impact. Jake sensed a change. You look different, happier. I feel lighter, like I've been carrying something heavy and finally put it down. Is there any word from them? They keep trying. Every day brings new numbers. I block them all. Do you feel guilty? I thought about it, really thought about it. No, I feel free. 3 weeks following the foreclosure notice, the harassment escalated. My work email. Someone had found it. Amanda. Ryan, I am emailing because you have banned everything else. Please. Dad is desperate. The bank has threatened eviction. We have 3 weeks. Lily doesn't understand why Uncle Ryan isn't helping Grandpa anymore. She cries every night. Is this truly who you want to be? I forwarded it to HR and described the circumstances. They prohibited all external emails from her address. Then Dad sent me a letter via physical mail to my new residence. Handwritten. Ryan, I am begging you. I was mistaken. I uttered some nasty things. I took you for granted. I apologize. Please don't let my blunders ruin anything. This is your mom's residence, her memory. Please. I read it once and then stored it in a drawer. Nor discarded, nor responded. Simply stored. Perhaps there is some evidence. Or closure. I wasn't certain yet. Things started to go weird around the 5th week. An unknown number called. I was ready to decline when something compelled me to answer. Ryan, it's Lily. My niece, 9 years old. On the phone. My heart has stopped. Lily, how did you... I took Mom's phone. She does not know. Her voice was small and terrified. Uncle Ryan, why don't you help Grandpa? Did I do something wrong? The guilt struck like a truck. No, Lily, you did not do anything wrong. Then why? Mom claims you're being mean. That you no longer care about your family. I closed my eyes. Of course, they had militarized her. Lily, this is complicated. It's adult stuff between me and your grandfather. But he is about to lose his home. Mom believes it is your fault. Did your mother tell you why? She said you're mad about my birthday party, that you're upset you weren't invited. Did she tell you I had been paying Grandpa's mortgage for 1 year and 4 months? Silence. What is a mortgage? The money is for the house. I've been paying so Grandpa can continue to live there. Have you? Yeah, $2,200 per month. That's a lot. It is. And do you know what Grandpa told me? He said I wasn't actually family, that I am just a wallet. Do you understand what that means? A wallet is where you keep money. Right. He stated I am just good for money, not for a birthday, Christmas, or Thanksgiving. Just money. That's mean. It was. And it stung. So, I stopped paying. Lily was silent back then. I apologize, Uncle Ryan. I didn't know. It is not your fault, sweetheart. None of this is your fault. I wanted you to attend my party. I asked Mom why you weren't present. She said you were busy. My chest tightened. I was not busy. I was not invited. That's not fair. No, it's not. I'm sorry. Thank you, Lily. That means a lot. Could you help Grandpa anyway, even if he was mean? I exhaled. Lily, sometimes grown-ups have to make difficult decisions. Your grandpa needs to figure this out himself. She sniffled. Okay. I love you, Uncle Ryan. I love you too, Lily. She hung up. I sat there, feeling like the worst person ever. Not because I was wrong, but because they had placed a 9-year-old in the middle of it. Amanda called again 4 minutes later, using the same number. I responded. How dare you? Her voice trembled with wrath. How dare you tell Lily that Dad referred to you as a wallet? She's 9 years old. You got her on the phone, Amanda. You are the one using her as a weapon. She wants to speak to you. You told her it was my fault her grandfather was losing his home. You put that burden on a 9-year-old. It's your fault. You're the one that stopped paying after 16 months of being excluded from everything while keeping our life going. After Dad literally told you you are not family. He didn't mean it. He meant every word. Aunt Karen did as well. So did you when you didn't ask me to Lily's party. One party. Ryan, you are killing our family over a single party. And it was not a single party. It was at every party, holiday, and family gathering for years. I simply didn't notice since I was too busy being your ATM. She was crying now. We need the money. Dad needs it. Please. Amanda, you don't need money. You should work out your own life. In 3 weeks. We have 3 weeks before the bank takes the house. Then you better spend those 3 weeks figuring it out instead of calling me. I hung up. I've also blocked that number. The next day, Jake called me. Dude, you need to see this. He provided me a link. There's a GoFundMe. Help save a family's home. Amanda's name. Dad's photo. The house. My father is a dedicated man who lost his job due to circumstances beyond his control. He is striving to maintain the family home where his late wife lived and where his granddaughter celebrates birthdays. The bank is threatening to foreclose. We're appealing for your aid to preserving this important family memory. Goal: $22,000. Current amount raised: $320. I read the description. There was no mention of 16 months of payments from me. There was no mention of the $35,000 I had already provided them. A hard-working man as well as struggling family. The comments drew me in. Praying for you. Family is everything. I gave what I could. God bless. I showed Jake. They're crowdfunding without mentioning you paid for a year and 4 months. Certainly not. That does not match their story. Do you intend to comment? Set the record straight? I thought about it. About disclosing everything, including receipts, bank statements, and even screenshots of a single wallet. Then I remembered what my mother used to say. The truth does not have to be loud. It simply needs to be true. No, I replied. Let them raise their money. Or not. In any case, that was not my problem. The GoFundMe campaign gathered traction within their church community. By the end of the week, they had raised $3,200 out of a total of $22,000 needed. With 1 week to foreclosure, I saw the number progressively increase. I watched the comments of support. Amanda shared updates, thanking everyone for their contributions. It was not going to be enough, not even close, and it was no longer my problem. Then, 2 days before the foreclosure date, something unexpected occurred. A message request on LinkedIn from Melissa Reed. I didn't recognize the name, but something about Reed caught my attention. I opened it. Hello, Ryan. You don't know me, but I am your father's cousin. I live in Portland. I learned about the house predicament through family gossip. Can we speak? I stared at the message for a long time. Then I accepted the request and said, sure. Melissa was in her mid-50s, dressed professionally, and had gentle eyes that reminded me of my mother. Thank you for meeting me, she replied. I understand this must seem unusual. I have never heard Dad mention you. We aren't close. I haven't been for years. There was a disagreement. She stirred the coffee. Ryan, I'd want to hear your perspective. I have heard the family version. I'd want to hear yours, so I told her everything. The 16-month payment plan, the birthday party, the Just a Wallet chat, Aunt Karen's "we're fine without you," the harassment, and Lily's phone call. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she gave a hesitant nod. That sounds exactly like my cousin Thomas and his sister Karen. Are you not surprised? Not even a little. They did something similar to me 18 years ago, borrowed funds for a business venture, promised to repay me. When I sought for it after 2 years, they accused me of being greedy and not supporting my family. I never saw a penny. How much? $13,000. Back then, that was all I had saved. I felt something settle. Validation. Proof that I wasn't crazy. Was not cruel. I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry it's happening to you, she said. She took out her phone. I noticed the GoFundMe. Read the description. They left out some important details. They left out all the details. I figured, Ryan, I'd want to ask you a question, and I want you to be honest. Do you want them to lose their house? I thought about it. Really thought about it. I do not want Lily to suffer, but Dad, Amanda, and Karen need to realize that people are not ATMs, that you cannot treat someone as garbage and expect them to continue giving. That's fair, she remarked with a small smile. For what it's worth, I believe you did the correct thing. Setting boundaries is not unkind. It is healthy. Tell that to the Facebook comments. Facebook comments are left by persons who do not know the whole issue. You know the truth. That is what matters. We talked for another hour about family, limits, and going forward. When we stood up to depart, she hugged me. If you need anything, someone to talk to, someone who understands, call me. You are not alone. Driving home, I felt lighter than I had in weeks. Melissa didn't solve anything. She simply made someone understand. The following day was the foreclosure deadline. I awoke and checked my phone. There are no calls or texts, just silence. The GoFundMe had raised $5,400. Not enough. Not even close. My doorbell rang at 2:30 p.m. I opened it and found Aunt Karen standing there. Ryan, we need to talk. I glanced at Aunt Karen on my porch. She appeared exhausted with little makeup on, her hair pulled back messily and a crumpled sweatshirt. Can I come inside? No. Ryan, please, 4 minutes. 3 minutes. Right here. The foreclosure is today at 2:30. We are $5,000 short. Please. That's all we need. No. Ryan, you said you were okay without me, that I was not part of the main family. Why would you want money from someone who isn't related? I was angry. I didn't mean it. Yes, you did, for years. Her eyes flooded with tears. One remark at a party. Are you going to destroy his life over this? It was not a single comment. It was 16 months of being treated like an ATM and excluded from everything. We thought you were busy. You thought I was convenient, there when you needed money, invisible when you didn't. Please, I plead, $5,000. I will pay you back. I do not want your money. I want you to understand that people are not wallets. Are you just going to let him lose everything? No, you are. Because you spent a month harassing me rather than finding solutions. She stood there crying. I hope you can live with yourself. I can you? She departed. My hand shook as I closed the door, not from guilt, but from finally establishing a barrier. At 2:45 p.m., my phone vibrated. Unknown number. I'm crying on the other end. Then Dad's voice. They took it. The house. It's gone. I said nothing. Ryan, please, we can solve this if you just... No. I'm your father. You are the man who called me a wallet, who told me I'm not family. I was inebriated. I am sorry. You're sorry you said it out loud, not that you meant it? That's not fair. Nothing about this is fair, but that is no longer my problem. I hung up. I blocked the number. Then I opened a bottle of decent wine and felt no remorse. Melissa sent me a message 2 weeks later. I saw on Facebook that Amanda is hosting a new start party this weekend. I thought you should know. A party? Of course. Can you send me the address on time? She sent it within an hour, Saturday at 2 p.m. Family festivity, new beginnings. Melissa informed me that Dad had purchased a new car 3 months ago, which he had financed at an absurdly high interest rate, could not afford the payments. The repossession company was looking for it. Dad had hidden it at Amanda's. On Saturday, that repo vehicle was supposed to show up. I didn't cause it. I just knew it was coming. And I made sure I got a front row seat. Saturday at 1:45 p.m., I parked down the street, far enough to remain hidden, but close enough to observe everything. Cars lined the driveway, balloons on the mailbox. People are walking in carrying dishes. At 2:47 p.m., a flatbed tow truck entered the roadway. I sat up straighter. The truck arrived at Amanda's residence. The driver examined his tablet, then stepped out and knocked. Amanda answered. Her face changed from friendly to scared. She made a call inside. Dad appeared and started yelling. People came out. The party ended. The driver displayed papers. Dad attempted to block the automobile. Amanda was on the phone. Karen came out yelling. The motorist didn't care. He had documentation. Dad's black Charger, the one he bought to feel youthful, began rolling onto the flatbed. Dad attempted to stop it. Couldn't. Just stood there as his car drove away in front of everyone at their fresh start gathering. Amanda was crying. Karen was yelling. Dad seemed defeated. Partygoers began leaving rapidly and awkwardly. Some people filmed with their phones. By dinner time, this would have gone viral on Facebook. The truck pulled away. Guests scattered. I saw Amanda standing in her empty driveway, looking devastated. I started the car and headed home. Jake called an hour later. Have you seen Facebook? No. What happened? This is your sister's celebration. The repossession vehicle stole your father's car in the middle of the party. It's everywhere. Wow. Ryan, did you know? I knew it was being repossessed. Not exactly when. That's savage. That's consequences. And people commented asking why he had a new automobile when he couldn't afford his mortgage. Good. Let them ask. That night, videos surfaced from various angles. The remarks shifted. Wait, he purchased a new car. If he couldn't afford his mortgage, why would he finance a Charger? Something does not add up. Amanda posted, My father is going through a difficult period. Please respect our privacy. But the questions kept coming. Where is Ryan? Haven't seen him at family events. Didn't Ryan aid them financially? The story was cracking. I did not make a comment. They did not explain. Just watched. Melissa sent a text on Sunday morning. Your father is currently raising money for the car. Another GoFundMe. I looked it up. Help Thomas reclaim his car. Wrongful repossession. Goal, $7,000. The amount raised is zero. Comments. Haven't you just lost your house? If Ryan paid your mortgage, where did the money go? Why is this family constantly asking for handouts? The truth was out, not because I said it, but because they couldn't get their story straight. I closed the application. I blocked Facebook. I did not need to see it anymore. I made my point without saying anything. Finally, I was free. 3 weeks after the repo truck event, my life had returned to something approximating serenity. No more calls from unknown numbers. No more desperate emails. No more family members are coming up at my door. They had finally received the message. I had started treatment. I did not feel guilty, but Jake said it would help me digest everything. Dr. Ellis was in her 50s with kind eyes and no tolerance for BS. So, your family treated you like an ATM for 16 months, she explained during our third session. And when you stopped paying, they made you the villain. Pretty much. How does this make you feel? Free. Is that wrong? She smiled. Not at all. Setting boundaries is not unkind. It is healthy. Working conditions improved as well. Without the continual stress of paying someone else's mortgage, I could concentrate. Was promoted to senior developer. There was also a raise. Jake brought me out to celebrate. Look at you. New apartment, promotion, and actual savings. You're thriving. Feels weird, like I'm waiting for something to go wrong. That's known as trauma response. You spent 16 months on survival mode. It takes time to adjust to stability. On Saturday morning, my doorbell rang. I checked the peephole and saw Lily with a woman I didn't recognize. I opened the door. Hey, Uncle Ryan! Lily's face brightened up. The woman stepped forward. Hello, this is Hannah Lewis, Amanda's buddy. Lily requested me to bring her. She was insistent. That's okay. Come in. Hannah waited in the car. Lily looked to me with determination. I needed to see you. Does your mother know you are here? No, she'd be upset, but I don't mind. I sat across from her. What's going on, Lily? I apologize for everything, for what they told you, for manipulating me to make you unhappy. Lily, you are 9. None of this is your fault, but I was mean to you on the phone. Hannah told me what really happened, how you paid for Grandpa's house, how they didn't invite you to my party, how Grandpa called you a wallet. Lily, your grandfather and your mother made decisions. These choices had effects. That is not abandonment. Rather, it is a set of boundaries. What are the boundaries? It's when you decide what you will and won't accept from people, even family. She nodded slowly. That makes sense. Can I still see you if Mom says no? My chest tightened. Lily, I don't want to make things harder for you at home. It is already hard. Mom and Grandpa are fighting all the time now. About money. About the house. About you. She looked at me with eyes that were much older than 9. Mom says you are the reason everything went apart. But I believe things were always falling apart. You simply quit holding it together from the mouths of children. Do you know you're pretty smart? She smiled. Can we do something? Just us, like grab ice cream? Okay, but I'll text your mother afterwards so she knows where you are. She's going to yell probably, but that's on me, not you. We spent an hour at the ice cream shop near my place. We simply talked about school, her classmates, and her drawings. Before she departed, Lily hugged me. Thank you for not giving up on me. I could never give up on you, kid. After they had left, I texted Amanda. Lily came to see me today. She is safe. She wanted to talk. I am open to discussing boundaries for future interaction. She responded an hour later. How dare you see her behind my back? Stay away from my daughter. I did not respond. I just shared the message to Hannah with a note. Thank you for bringing her. Please let me know if Lily needs anything. 8 months later, my life had drastically changed. New flat with 2 bedrooms presently. Better vehicle. Actual savings account. I dated. Nothing serious, but I was open to it. It turns out that when you're not financially and emotionally tired, you have more energy for others. Lily and I texted periodically. Amanda disliked it, but she had given up trying to avoid it. Dad had moved in with Amanda. Melissa described the situation as heated, with a lot of squabbling over money. I met Karen at the grocery store one day. We established eye contact. She hurriedly glanced away, grabbed her cart, and fled. There was no confrontation, no apologies, just avoidance, and that was okay. I didn't need her apologies. I had already moved on. Jake and I went to dinner one Friday. You know what is wild, Vis, he stated. 1 year ago, you were broke, stressed, and unhappy. Now look at you. The best decision I've ever made was to cut them off. Setting boundaries. There is a difference. He raised his glass. To boundaries. To boundaries, I repeated. That night, I received a text from an unknown number. Hi, Ryan. This is Dad. I know you have blocked me. Therefore, I am using a friend's phone. I wanted to apologize. I sincerely apologize for everything. You were correct. I took you for granted. They treated you like a pocketbook. I was wrong. I stared at the message for a long time. Part of me wanted to respond and accept the apologies, but another part, which had learned that people do not change just because they apologize, knew better. I sent one message. I appreciate your apology, but I am not ready to restore this relationship. Maybe someday, but not today. I pressed send. Then I blocked that number too, because forgiveness does not imply reconciliation, and boundaries do not make you cruel. They make you healthy. 3 years after I quit paying Dad's mortgage, I purchased my first home. Nothing large, 4 bedrooms and a decent yard. I held a housewarming party. Jake arrived. Melissa arrived. Hannah brought Lily with Amanda's consent. Surprisingly, some coworkers and new acquaintances knew me for who I was rather than what I could supply. Jake made a toast. To Ryan, who realized that the best investment isn't in other people's homes. It is within yourself. Everyone cheered. Lily drew me aside. I'm proud of you, Uncle Ryan. Thank you, youngster. I'm proud of you, too. For what? for being courageous enough to seek the truth. I learned that from you. You taught me that sometimes stepping away is the most powerful thing you can do. I looked at this now 11-year-old who had figured out what it had taken me 30 years to master. You're going to be fine, Lily. Better than okay. So are you. And you know what? She was correct, because I had ceased being a wallet and became a person, and it made all the difference.